A bit of a surprise, I know, but welcome to, well, it's not really a segment, more just something I want to do, because I've been reading Kumo desu ga Nani for a little bit, and so, since it's out new and fresh, I wanted to actually watch it as well. Since it contains many aspects which I do quite enjoy, mainly isekai type stories, the integration of gaming features, and from a monster perspective. Oh, and it's voiced by a very special talent, so what's there to wait for? Strap in, get yourself a drink, and let's scuttle on down to I'm a spider, so what? Now, I started by, seeing the manga and then moved on to the light novel, but I can't remember where exactly I got up to. So this is going to be a very different type of experience. Considering I know basically what's going on, so it's now does it live up to my expectation? Rather than trying to work out what's going on. And if I can remember all the characters. Yep, that's what you usually expect when you're having a quiet day at school. This is exactly how I'd be thinking of, what the hell is this? I'm in an egg. Also, if you woke up surrounded by a million tiny spiders, I'd be a bit more perturbed than just, what's going on? That's the freak out I deserve. Yep. But having a quick grasp on the situation is not bad. A question that, so far, I don't believe I've got an answer to. She went through the... it's not really 5 stages of grief, but she accepted her circumstances quite quickly. I'm turning this up. Now, I did watch the trailer when it dropped originally, and I was a bit concerned about the inclusion of the CG and how it would be pulled off. So I am still anticipating the worst, but at the same time, I just want to see how they pull off the story. I want to see it in motion. So far, I think they've gotten what I expected her to look like if it was an anime. Ooh. Like, quite good. And if you don't know the story of Kumo desu ga, I don't really want to spoil what might happen. So there's things I want to say. But I am quite looking forward to the parallel thinking skills. Kumo. I guess becoming a spider suddenly would lead into lethargy quite quickly. Oh, Jesus! And where exactly is home? Yeah, she's worried about being misgendered or whatever it was. But yeah, her being reborn into the body of, if I remember, uh, Terrasect, or no, lesser Terrasect. Quite a shit species. Were you actually? I don't believe we were told much about her origin before um, this was going on. It was kind of alluded to what was going on in school and some of the other characters, though. All possible theories. Yeah. Personally, I'd worry about my safety in the current predicament rather than what could have transpired. Hmm? Voice of God. I can't remember what it's called in this one though. It's quite a lot of information to take in straight away. Before agreeing to any skill, I'd ask if there was a list of them that I can read through or something. Yeah. You get to understand quite a lot about your world by analysing it. It does appear to be a perfectly ordinary rock. Is she? Oh, I quite like pudgy Spider-Face. Is she? Hmm. You can see where this is going. Come on. Did you really expect any different? And an appraisal skill that can only tell you exactly what you knew it was for 100 skill points does seem a bit overboard, but maybe if you start trying to appraise things that isn't within common knowledge of what they are. I think you don't have a name. I do want to see, because some shows use the combination of 3D and whatnot quite well in its camera work. Is that going to be put into place? Because there is a lot of movement, or potential movement, considering she's a spider. Yep. Look at all that dangerous experience points. Yeah. There's definitely a sensory overload. I'm incredibly surprised that someone in this kind of situation doesn't have a complete mental break, at least for a little bit. I mean, almost anything's edible if you're brave enough. That might be a lie. You might be friendly. They don't know that. Also, do they speak spider? Looks like the humans weren't so kind. One thing, that's not. That usually doesn't happen. I swear. Ah, we're starting an MTV interview, are we? She's quite upbeat for going along with any situation. Oh shit. Is she explaining her life or mine? But one thing about this series that I really do love is how she's being constantly pushed down a darker road. Despite most of her actions seeming self-preservation. And this might be the start of it. Yeah. At the end of the day, survival kind of trumps what is seemingly disgusting. Would it be easier to eat the second time? I mean, might be less chewing. Poison Fang, Night Vision, Spider Thread, Poison Resistance, some unknown skill. Would the Kin Eater... Ah, yes. And there begins the... Well, apart from appraisal, there begins the growth. Due to eating her own species, she acquired Kin Eater, which has opened up some bad things. Which also puts into question if you come across a human who has these skills. She's gotten to grips of using this thread quite quickly. And just because you acquire a skill, does that mean you know how to activate it? Good pose. Guess I'll sleep. Yeah, if you just have a million spiders, you're able to use heretic magic off the bat. Why do we have a spider with the title of Jester and Ballerina? Just follow the thread. An approximation of a frog. I've never eaten frog's legs or anything like that. Although if it was offered, I wouldn't turn it away. Probably wouldn't enjoy it though. Hmm. And considering she is a spider with a different set of optics, really, she hasn't thought about that. What is the field of vision of a spider? I don't actually know. So now you just have to bathe in the poison and acid until you max that out. Appraise it. Oh, now we got some fighting music. The liquid effects on the spit aren't amazing. Could be worse. The gaining of resistance is just to being spat on and eating your meal. Could be quite useful. I do like the idea of repetitive tasks gaining you that kind of ability, or at least a title in it. Kind of recognition for your hard work. お前はもう死んでる. I know it's a battle for survival, but taking bites out of a still live creature? Ugh. And couldn't they have rendered that a few more frames? Look at your own skills. Spider smirk. That was actually done quite well. I mean, she did deserve... She's earned this victory dance. It's your own fault. So, this is what happens if you don't hatch out of an egg to start your life. I could go for a buffet right about now. Oh, we're starting here, okay. That's not what... If that's who I think it is, that's not what I expected it to look like. I suppose so. He is quite cute. I mean... So far, most of them look kind of what I would have expected. But the twin tails and the teacher. That is a glare of disapproval. That's quite a high defined close-up there. Ah, that's... I can't remember how it started all of this in the light novel. So I can't... Because it was quite a long ago that I read it. But it's quite good that it's all getting to the point quite quickly. But I believe he had a bigger role in it than just being a passive being talked about. Define weird. Only those two? You see that some of them have been blessed more than others. when coming to this world. So they've all been kind of blessed with high position. Well, not all of them. Some of them haven't really came out of it too well, but some of them have been blessed with great futures if they keep down that path. Oshima. Now that's a question. I mean, it is a girl. And who may this be? So is it going to go back into a... the timeline as it goes, is it going to be flipped back and forth into different periods and flashbacks? How many were in the class? You only accounted for 11? Some of that food over there looked quite well prepared. Such a banquet, and then... yeah, about time it... Imagine having to gain acid resistance, poison resistance, various other resistances, just eating your dinner. Although some shows I've watched would be quite useful. Not a lot of good cooks. Is that... that is her, isn't it? Yep, that's her singing this. I mean, in a world like this, you have to keep yourself entertained. So why not pretend that you're an idol singing for all the other spiders and monsters? Or the ballad interlude just then. Okay then. Less of a song, more of a verbal seizure. This is going to be a fun one. Even if you just look past some of the shortcuts and well, I'll just say the liquid rendering. But at least with the 2D side of it, it's quite competent. How could anyone hate our now newly beloved, everyone's favourite spider magical girl? And now that we've been introduced to some of the other classmates and reincarnations, then, well, I wonder if you can work out who's going where and what they all think. Then if you had 100 points to spend on any skill that you could think of, even if you didn't realise that this was a world where skills were enabled, what would you choose? But of course, even the lowest of abilities can prove very, very intrinsic to your survival. Depends on how they're used. I guess knowing if something is indeed a rock or a pebble or a wall or some thread. But hey, in case it isn't immediately obvious, if there's poison resistance level 1, poison resistance level 2, what might you get in the future when appraisal gets that slightly bit better? And kind of unlike slime, where Rimuru, well, he gets very strong very quickly, and then basically overpowers and starts running a town. Imagine that if it was the complete opposite. Everything is an uphill battle, everything is a struggle, and it seems death is around every corner. That is the life of a spider, I'm afraid. I'm looking forward to it. But then again, I do have quite a sardonic sense of humour. Hopefully you do too. Jankiness aside, this does seem enjoyable, especially with the many, many facial emotions that can be displayed when you have 8 eyes. Hopefully you'll be here for the future. If you liked it, let me know. Leave a like on the video and comment down below. Like I said before, favourite skill, but if there's something else you want to tell me, do that too. There might be more in the future. I haven't quite decided. If you want to be part of the reason why the spider returns, subscribe to the channel. Right now, I'm actually going to eat some proper food. Hopefully where something's actually being cooked. Get some rest. See you in the next one. If you want to be the suspiciously poisonous or acidic flesh that leads to the growth of my channel, then consider moving on to Patreon, because so far Sal, Raywin, Electric Ant, Denamet1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, Yuki Ali, and everyone else have led to faster growth than I could have ever anticipated, and I haven't had to hear any strange, unwarranted voices to obtain it. So thank you.